believed that if the fuel subsidy is removed, and with the proposed policy of 5,000 naira as transport grants to Nigerians, then what is accruable from that removal of subsidy will now be injected into infrastructure, into the development of the country. That raised a lot of problems. The NLC responded, some trade unions responded, and threatened government not to go ahead with that policy. But we're in 2022, so once again, Happy New Year, but are you ready for what will be evolving in this new year? I have very distinguished personalities with me. I have a former chairman of NLC in Edo State, and of course, a highly respected clergyman, Reverend Olu Aderigbibe. Nice to have you, sir.
Thank you. Happy New Year, viewers.
We have a legal practitioner with us, Barrister Jim Osagede. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year.
We also have a very, very highly respected political and social commentator and a lecturer, Dr. Maxwell Osagi. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you,
okay,
my brother. Happy New Year, viewers.
Yes. So, we will start by the issue of the fuel subsidy. Now, the NSC has a reputation of fighting to protect the interests of the masses. Reverend Olu Aderigbibe made his name fighting for the masses. Now, the question I will ask him now, all your fights, sir, are you happy Nigeria is still the way it is? We'll start from there.
Well, the word of God says, if the foundation be destroyed, what would the righteous do?
Yes.
The foundation that was laid, that make people respect labor leaders, respect our leaders, have been destroyed. We are crying internally, God, that house you have built has been destroyed, and it's been destroyed. So I'm not really comfortable with the happening of this country in every area, okay, either of the petroleum or of NEPA or whatever you call them, or of light or whatever it is. Everything is turning upside down. So I'm not comfortable with the present situation in the country of Nigeria.
Okay, so we'll now go straight to the question now. This fuel subsidy, before President Buhari emerged as a presidential candidate, he was known condemning the issue of fuel subsidy. And when he eventually took over, he couldn't help it because that's not the reality. And so needed to also implement the fuel subsidy policy. But we understand that his government, under his watch, because of the billions that is being used to subsidize petroleum pump price, the government of President Buhari intends to remove it this year. Now, do you support that intention?
Well, the intention is wicked, callous, and put people in slavery. Before the present government took over power, they condemned the then president, Goodluck Jonathan, that there's nothing like subsidy. And by the time they enter, they will make everything smooth. And they started probing, and we found out that there's nothing like subsidy in this fact, because it's an individual enrichment that we're having in the country of Nigeria. And they are creating an empire to themselves. By the time they came in, they gave us what we call boju-boju idea. They begin to probe. Those people that they said they over-invoiced or had or did not do what they're supposed to do concerning to this fuel subsidy, well, they were arrested. But as I'm talking now, we have never seen anyone being prosecuted. So you cannot begin to lay foundation on lies. And I think increasing fuel will make Nigerian people suffer the more. As at now, we are suffering. And you want to remove subsidy according to what you have said. One, Why are we taking our crude oil to another country to refine and to come and sell? Secondly, what are our refineries, what are they doing? Are they functioning? Every year we hear turnaround. How much is involved? So the matter of subsidy, who is deceiving who? So they want to put Nigeria into another calamity. 2021 was one of the worst years in the history of this nation because of hyperinflations. It is a year I saw that market women cut yam into two to sell. That is, buy according to your pocket. We have never seen that one before. This present regime is putting us into a situation that we cannot control. So matter we should stop, and they should not deceive Nigeria about removing subsidy.
Thank you, sir. So let's move on to Barrister Jim. Now, this is a new year, and government intends to improve the economy. Government intends to improve infrastructure. And they've seen that there's a loophole, and that is funding of subsidy for pump price of petrol. Now, the Minister of Budget and Planning, Zena, has made it clear that what they intend to do, remove the subsidy, give 5,000 naira to vulnerable Nigerians, about 40 million Nigerians, as transport grant, then use the money to fund other infrastructure under the government or under the administration of President Buhari. Now, are you comfortable with this move?
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
It's unfortunate that we find ourselves in a country where nothing seems to be working. You know, there's no transparency, there's no accountability, and you know, yet the best brains are found in this country. So the issue that we are going through, that we are grappling with in Nigeria, is because you know, those who are supposed to be in power, they are not really interested because of the hostile environment. That's why we have people who don't have the capacity. You know, it's like giving cloth to the carpenter to make suit for you.
Yeah.
It's practically impossible. You see, the so-called fuel subsidy that they are talking about, you remember some time ago, during the regime of Olusegun Obasanjo,
okay,
when Okonjo-Iweala, who was the Minister of Finance,
yes,
you know, she insisted on transparency, and she wanted to audit how these funds were being siphoned for people who they pretend to bring refined petroleum products from overseas. They get to West Africa coast and divert to other countries. Do you know what happened? They threatened her to the extent that they kidnapped her aged mother, but she did not yield to the blackmail. So the system is so rotten. So if you are talking about removing fuel subsidy and you want to give 5,000 naira to vulnerable 30 to 40 million Nigerians, as they are saying, who are the 30 to 40 million Nigerians? And how are you going to determine what are the parameters for the sharing? So I believe that it doesn't add up to what we expect as citizens. Now, the basic thing is that the government have refused to do that which is right.
Okay.
You know, it is very nauseating that your own products you cannot process to get the end product for the people of your country to enjoy, and you are just satisfied with exporting crude oil. You know, crude oil is you know, some people say it's a cost to the country. After all, there are countries who don't have crude oil who are doing very well. Nigeria should look inward. Let us have refineries that are running before you can talk of fuel subsidy, if at all it exists. So my recommendation is that fix the refineries, let them be working, and then remove the subsidy. At that time, the so-called subsidy will become irrelevant because you are producing what you need locally. So you cannot be exporting cocoa, for instance, and importing butter, and then you want to control the price. It's not possible. Now, if you look at what is happening in Nigeria, it looks like it defies the economic principles. Because, you know, when there is fall in international market price of crude oil, they don't reduce the price here. They keep selling at the same rate. And when there's increase, then everybody is crying, oh, the thing has gone up and the rest of that. So why will you be crying when you are exporting your raw materials? That is is very disturbing.
Like
You have 3 refineries. Our 4 BS who established those refineries, they thought well. But even right from the onset, there was strategic error in the establishment of refineries. You don't establish pipeline to the desert to go and start a refinery. Refine the products at the base where they are produced, and then you can move them around. So as long as the refineries are not working, let the government not talk about subsidy, because they are going to further impoverish the citizenry of this country. Yeah. The other time, I think around March last year, the governors forum, they made a proposal that the pump price should go up to about 300 to 408. Now, with due respect to them, these are people who don't pay for fuel. I believe they don't pay for fuel. You are using government vehicles.
Even the food they eat, they don't pay for it.
And you want to step on the price. It's me and you that going to suffer, the school children, the rest of them. And the whole thing has already boomerang. If you look at the rate of inflation in the last quarter of last year, since I was born, I'm a young man, but for my few age, since I was born, I've never seen such a skyrocketing inflation. It was almost like the German inflation after the Second World War, where everybody in the house will carry money to the market, and by the time you finish shopping, it's the youngest that will bring it in a small rubber bag, because the money is worthless. Everything is going up. The salary is static. The power supply, the tariff has increased multiple times. You have to supply water for yourself. You are talking about removing fuel subsidy. So until they fix the refineries, government should not talk about fuel subsidy, if at all it exists. So when you refine the products, then remove the subsidy. Nobody will go outside to go and import.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Dr. Maxwell. Now, there's a school of thought that believes that you should allow market forces to interplay and determine price instead of subsidizing petrol. That's also what the federal government believes, that so much is being, expended. Now, don't you think the federal government for once seems to be right, because they intend to use the money that they have been using in subsidizing to fix other sectors?
Okay. First of all, let me start from this angle.
Yes.
The trader money, you remember?
Okay.
Came as a result like a year to election. You remember?
Yes, I do.
Now, when APC, the impunity to which APC come on here to let know to the Nigeria their policies, which I categorize as anti-Nigeria policy. Now, why is it that when there is an election coming, now you start seeing policy of let the money goes down to
the grassroots?
The grassroots. Who are you deceiving? Now, the fact is clear. I ask myself, this what so-called party, or is it the party I should blame now, or the leaders in federal sector? Because I really don't know where to pinpoint it. But I also understand that the body language of a leader matters a lot, because we interpret the body language of a leader in determining what we want to do. Now, have we established this, my brother?
Yes.
Look at it. You say you want to give 5,000 to vulnerable Nigerians. Now, from our analysis, the vulnerable Nigerians, they don't even have accounts. They don't have accounts. I'm coming to your question, the one you have.
Yes.
The vulnerable Nigerians, they don't have accounts. How do you intend to send 5,000 naira to them? Now, statistically speaking, that 5,000 naira, you say you are going to run it within a period of 12 months, which is annual. Now, it will cost Nigeria nothing less than 2.4 trillion naira. In an annual, 2.4 trillion naira to give 5,000 naira to the vulnerable Nigeria. I'm going somewhere. Now, between 2016 to 2019, the only money we know as published that the federal government used in subsidizing the fuel, the petroleum, is just 725 billion naira. Now, when you divide 725 billion naira it amount to, within 4 years,
Yeah.
it amount to, we are talking about 181 and 225 billion naira, which I could categorize as a state budget, like Edo state budget, 180 something billion naira. Now, which means you use Edo state budget for 4 years in subsidizing petroleum product. Now, if 4 years you use 725 billion, and you are not telling me that in 1 year you want to send 5,000 naira to vulnerable Nigeria, that will amount to 2.4 trillion naira. What are you telling us? Now, when I see the Minister of Finance coming to unleash what I could classify as a deadly policy uncalled for. Now, go back, go and look at the people who are praised, who praise the federal government for the long age subsidy removal and everything. They are still the same people who are in government. Look at them. Erufai made a statement. So governor made a statement. Oh, thank you, thank you. Did you see the one in the market woman, who doesn't really even have account? I've interfaced with many, in fact, many vulnerable Nigerians, 98%, they don't have account. Where are you going to see them? Yeah. Now, that is one. That is one. Having laid this foundation,
okay,
how do you expect the price, the labor price, etc., the input, the supply and demand should determine the price? When you know quite all right that this product is not refined by you. As we speak now, naira to dollar is heaven on earth. Naira to pounds is heaven on earth. Now you take this product out, certainly when you are bringing it back in dollar. And what we have in here is naira. Yeah. So certainly that inflation, you will see it. Now the bottom line is this. If you listen to Kachuku, I think that's the former state minister for petroleum and everything. Now, they were singing, hey, yes, we were told that as at that time, before he left office, that the refineries were not working. If you remember.
The refineries are not working. That's the
no,
biggest
before he left,
yeah.
I could remember, he vigorously pursued that policy to make sure that, okay, the Port Harcourt refinery
But they didn't work.
No, he said, I'm quoting him. I'm quoting him. At the time of testing and everything, he said he works on a certain capacity. A lot of money we actually pump into bringing up those refineries back to standard. And at a point, yes, at a point we were told that, okay, the maintenance and everything has got to this standard and everything and everything. Now, immediately that man left office, we started hearing different stories that nothing is working. Okay, as we speak, by projection, Dangote refinery was supposed to come on board July 2021. Have you heard anything today?
No, we understand the
federal government came up with policy.
Private refineries will start working this year. That's the information
the projection that was naturally
yes.
was that by June 2021, when they started that thing, that everything will start 2021, June 2021. I can remember I read that article very well when that was established.
Yes.
But the point I'm trying to make right now, now the same federal government came up as last year during that time when the refinery has got it to a certain level and came up with a policy of then having to buy some percentage in terms of the shares and everything and everything. And I asked myself, what is the business of federal government with a private sector? Now you have even told us that you have worked on the PIB,
yes,
the downstream sector, which I believe, by calculation, these subsidies and everything should fade out by virtue of, oh, now NNPC has become a public limited liability. So everybody comes in and everything. So why still discussing the subsidy, which you and I know that this 5,000 naira is meant for election?
Well,
this 5,000 naira is meant for election.
We cannot validate that.
Where will you see the record to substantiate the 5,000 naira? Where will you get the record? Where will you see the vulnerable Nigerian?
Even all these things we are saying,
yes,
with due respect to all, we are crying wolf because the government never listens. There's a bobby trap.
They do.
There's a bobby trap in the PI, Petroleum Industry Act.
Yes.
There's a section of that act which says that petroleum products will be sold at market price. That is what the federal government is hiding behind.
To remove the fuel subsidy.
Yeah, there's already a law, but you know, the people have to speak out. People have to speak out because you are going to dismantle the economy. The cost of production is going to rise, transportation, in fact, everything, all facets. The only thing, even the cost of breathing is going to increase. Yes, because you don't have light, everywhere is hot, and the rest of them, you have to generate your own power, you have to buy fuel.
Yes.
You know, it's going to go up, and the rest of them. It doesn't make sense. You see, the business of government is to apart from securing life and property, is to make life comfortable for
policies.
Citizens.
Exactly.
So if you have a policy that is antithetic to the benefit of the citizen, you jettison it. What does the government? You say the government is saying that they need more money. The money that you have borrowed, the one that you recovered, the dollars that were stashed in the house in the Koyi. Have you ever heard of them? There's no accountability.
Even the former man in NNPC that had dollars and pounds in his house, and there was air conditioner.
The man from Kaduna.
Yes,
Is it the
air conditioner working. There's no human being there, but dollars and pounds. The man was arrested. As we are talking now, nothing about that story.
Some of these cases are really in court, but they may not be in public domain.
It is better because you are leading people. You are leading people that are informed. That is why you are writing letter for revolutions. And that is why you are seeing agitation for this NGO and so on. So people supposed to cry out. They are silent because they use part of it to stop them. So other governors that were caught and were in court, they released them.
So
where are the money? And this money you have recovered, what are you doing with it? Only of recent, the president said that the money, part of the money recovered, they are using it for infrastructure. How many areas? You are leaving Benin to Abuja is with tears. You cannot go to Lagos. Security is even in your house, you are not sleeping well. So nobody want to travel. You find out that if you go to airport now, the price is high. Nobody want to travel by road because nobody want to die. This money, where are the money? And who approve it? Did the Senate approve the president spending money without consultation? So many things, we are doing things like we are in a jungle. And now people don't want to talk. Those who are supposed to talk, they kept quiet. And why? They don't have interest of the masses. They have interest of their family. In fact, you will see that people are just dying like fowl. The 5,000 they want to bring, it has no meaning. Unless Nigeria have to wake up to face the reality, to say no. Not by fighting gun or candy, but there must be people that you can, enough is enough of fooling the people. And they are coming, the 5,000 business, it's like you are feeding a fowl. The fowl is happy.
Sir, there is no 5,000, it will not get to them.
The fowl is happy. You never knew that. You are reserving that fowl for Christmas to come. They just want to enter to the people and again start looting the nation.
But why don't you give them a chance?
Maybe
these allegations are...
How many times do you want to give a chance? You gave chance in the time of the former military man Abacha. You gave time in the time of good luck, the late president. You gave chance in that of Jonathan. When somebody take 10 years, plan out to Chris, when will he go to the market?
Now the point, thank you sir, the point I was trying to make, it means you are directly telling Nigerians the federal government can just release 2.4 trillion naira in 1 year. And you and I have been crying over road. Yes. And I keep hearing infrastructure. Infrastructure. For 6 years, 7 years, all we'll be hearing is we are building infrastructure. May I know where this infrastructure is located? I would like to go. Which infrastructure? Is it that the railway is working in 90% capacity? Or is it that federal government housing estate is working at 50% capacity? Is it that, okay, which policy, which infrastructure? I want to know. Let them come on here. Let them be specific. So rather than just coming, hiding everything on infrastructure, can you specifically break this thing down? That, okay, fellow Nigerian, I am your president. For the past 1 year, I've succeeded in linking Lagos to Edo State. And if this is lie, I want to connect to the governor of Edo State right now, who is an opposition party. Let him say to you if really there is a railway to his side or not. or let it also connect to the masses. We can connect everybody. You can stream live right now. Let's see. We are in a digital world. Let everybody stream live. So say it. Is it working? Have you seen anything like that?
Okay.
Now we keep hearing infrastructure. See, it's very clear. If federal government says that they have 2.4 trillion to give to vulnerable Nigeria in 1 year, is not, see, the only thing even the vulnerable Nigeria enjoy now is even that subsidy, if there is any. Because there is no way you will say that 5,000 naira will get to those people. And it's even crazy for a state,
the market money,
for a government to come out
the
and say 5,000 naira to vulnerable.
Yeah.
What can 5,000 naira? Before I could move from my house to this place, it's more than 5,000 naira. So what am I trying to say? You are telling a woman who has 10 children, 4 children, 8 children to feed, that you want to give him 5,000 naira for what?
We are really happy that you're spending part of your 60 minutes with us on the program, a current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. We're actually looking at a sector of the economy as it relates to this new year. The federal government intends to stop the issue of fuel subsidy so that funds accruable can be injected to other sectors. Some persons say good policy, some others say no. That's the only thing Nigerians enjoy. But federal government has also said they intend to give 5,000 naira to about 40 million Nigerians as transport grant instead of subsidizing fuel, because they believe that those who drive cars, they are the elites. They are the ones enjoying the fuel subsidy, not the masses, the downtrodden, those who trek, you know, as the case may be. But my guests are dissecting and will continue to dissect this issue in the interest of the nation. So, yes, let's go back to Barrister G. You were actually itching to make a point.
You
okay.
know, the reality of ground
yes.
is that the principles, the concepts that we import from overseas, we don't domesticate them. By that I mean we don't make them adapt them to our situation.
Yes.
You see, all these things that we are talking about, you are talking about when everything is working well. In economics, they call it a ceteris paribus.
Okay.
All things being equal.
Yes.
Nothing is equal in Nigeria. For example, if we enjoy good roads, we enjoy stable power supply.
Yes.
We enjoy public water supply. We enjoy, good schools. The pensioners, they get, thank God for the state government, but the gratuities are, So if everything is working well and you want to remove subsidy, the effect will not be so devastating. So government should not even try it. Even the IMF that is prescribing removal of subsidy, the countries that control IMF, for instance, America subsidizes agriculture in lots. America is pumping billions of dollars into agriculture to subsidize the production by the American farmers. Okay. So when you do that in your own country, why will you now come and tell other countries like Nigeria that does not have a workable economic system because it seems to change from government to government?
Yes.
The brain of the economy of Nigeria was actually during the time of Babangida, when the structural adjustment program was imposed on Nigeria by. So you don't impose program when you know that your peculiarities do not allow such program to work. So Nigeria should look inward. Let us have what I can refer to as a domestic economy. Let us call it Nigeria type of economy. Nigeria type of economy, the citizens they build roads for themselves because people are they are grading their roads when the local government and other agencies are not forthcoming. In Nigeria economy, the citizens they provide light for themselves. I believe right now we are using your generator. The citizens, so when we are doing all these things for ourselves, the only one that you help, you are not even helping us with the petroleum because you are sending them abroad. You only manage to help to bring them into the country. So what the government should do is to sanitize the so-called subsidy regime. Let them look into the books. Let them make sure that if you say you are importing 1 million liters of refined product, for instance, that at the point of loading, that 100 million liters gets to Apapa Wharf. let them do proper auditing.
Okay.
Let them not talk about subsidy, because when you remove subsidy, you know, you are going to further, you know, kill the economy. Like my co-panelist said just now. Why is there this coincidence that when election is around the corner, you are looking for a way to dish out money to the people? So the so-called 5,000 naira, who are the people that are going to benefit from it? Are they not people who are loyal to your party? Are they not people who are loyal to, you know, the officers of the party? It's not going to be for people in your village who are not members of this party that is talking about removal of subsidy. So these things cannot work. The only thing that the government need to do, let them fix the refinery. Is it not one person that is building a refinery? And those state government is building a refinery.
Modular refinery.
A modular refinery. That is what happens in some countries. If you go to Asia, for instance, you know, Nigeria should reappraise the way we do things. You don't have gigantic refineries. If you can refine only 100 barrels of petroleum product, you build a small refinery. So the price of refined product vary from city to city. Okay. Not the way we have it in Nigeria. Yeah. Like I said before, I keep saying it, until the refineries are working, they should not talk about subsidy. Because people will not take it lightly.
Okay, yes.
Well, my own point is, let us, the Nigerian factor should be removed from the system. Okay. Secondly, we have been doing, if you do a right thing at the wrong time, you are wrong. Okay. When you do a wrong thing at the right time, you are wrong. We are doing a right thing at the wrong time. And for this cause, you have changed head of department in NNPC and otherwise. Those who were there, what is the record? And we never knew, up to now, how much, what is the percentage of the crude oil that we take it from Nigeria outside the country? And while coming, what is our gain? How much are we bringing back? And plus, we have some people who carry our crude oil and give to construction company and pay for it to construct roads. That's part of cheating.
Trade by barter.
Yes, but which is for personal gain.
Okay.
But this time around, both personal gain and other gain, we are not even seeing anything at all. Those who have been involved, let us see the record. And second, nobody should try that they want to remove subsidy, because it has an elite, a circle that have been enjoying this money. And when you talk about who are the people, party men, they give to themselves. It is in this country I discovered that a party win election is winner takes all. If really you have the people at heart, you bring people from different parties. Let us run this government together. And when, like, election is coming another 1 year now, when they brought the market money, the vice president of the nation came to Edo State, and they were dividing the money.
Inside the market? Inside
market. At the time of, how many of them? After he left, there was problem with the market women. How some people took money, they did not give them, and the problem is still existing now. Even government want to cover up, the wound is still there. So if you now bring 5,000 for transport money, can we explain transport money? Okay. Is it to go from one place to another, or transport money to go and buy, to enter vehicle from here to Orion, or to enter vehicle, market, this money, you need 5,000 want to go, for what purpose? Is it for Amala? Or for Gary? Gary today, a bag of rice, of Gary, how much? A bag of Gary is going to 20-something thousand. A bag of rice is 30,000. What is the 5,000? What is 5,000 transport money to where? To buy what? So they should not deceive us. They now want to come again. Election is coming. And I thank God, look at Edo State. We are not there yet, but we are almost there. We have some changes. There are some streets now that have been enjoying what we call light. And,
street light.
Street light.
By Governor Basek.
Yes, and they connected the grid to another. We have some street or to government offices. They are there. There is light. But why can't we try it if a governor, look at Wike. Wike has been commissioning bridges and other under the Boyman. Why can't federal government do this to see what we are doing? But they don't concentrate themselves to begin to want to come again, a trench, that circle want to continue. And that is why we need age limit for this, our rulers. Yes. Not all this to somebody at 70, 80 something, quarter to his grave. People are reasoning for them. We want young ones. Though it's not really age that determines what is in your mind. Yeah. It's what is in their mind.
The more elderly, the more experience.
Yes, but this time around, the more elderly, the more they are saving for their wives and children. And who suffers it? It's we that suffered it. And although they coerce us, either we use military or use police, and you find out the pre-commissioner of police that will not be able to understand the people, so that they have, even people they can't come to us, kill you, do other things, all in the name of this ruling and suppressing the nation because of 5,000 that is coming. They will pass through the market women, they will pass through pastors, they will pass through government, they will pass through many other people in man. That they don't worry, this and that, 5,000. And people will begin to run. A man, the son gave him 10,000. The man kneel down for his son. Thank you, my son. The boy said, no, don't kneel down for me. He said, I'm not kneeling down for you. I'm kneeling down for the money where you give to me. So people will be forced to come and take 5,000. Who has not eaten? Who has not gotten taking 1,000? You now say take 5,000. Unless you have the heart, they will rush to it to go and feed their children. They have already put us in 0, 0, 0. They now want to come and have a drop, and they want people to rush it. Look, the spirit of the people, the spirit of God Almighty will come and remove them. So they should not try. We will not depend on anybody, but let us depend on ourselves, determined to succeed. And so that all these people cannot be giving us boju arrangement. We have to go a lot to for now, so that we can know how to go ahead of our life. Or else they will mess us up, and I want to do. They will also arrange. It's government by arrangement. They will arrange somebody they can fool to be our president, because the money is there. Money answers all prayer, all questions. But that the money they give you money 5,000. Woman being once not see 500 naira and now see 5,000. Let me take this one first. That is the beginning of our problem, and they are coming. And I know by the grace of God, with the state we are, I know the governor is trying, but it should not change. And be very careful, so that if federal government is doing down, they should not have over taxation onto the life of the people. Okay. 5,000 to do what? Let me give you 5,000. What can you buy in the market? Nothing. Just mention something. So this Christmas, do you see anybody buying fowl? The fowl is, and to price, fowl become 13, 15,000.
Very amazing.
Fowl of 3,500.
Very amazing.
And then you want to remove subsidy. Who are you subsidizing to? And two, why only Dangote?
No, the other companies who are also going to do refinery.
Yes, so they should give license to as many people. Yeah. And government are so business in buying share in anything at all. Okay. And if you can concentrate, open the
economy,
open the true, not only through petroleum matter. We have material for cement here. Why do you give license to only one person to bring this cement to the country? We have that cement people. You limited people's growth. And then you beat a child, they say you should not cry. You have beaten the Nigerians, and Nigerians are crying, and we say no to subsidy, or else they will meet unpleasant reaction of the masses. Thank you. And we pray that the NSC can come out from their sleeping life now and face the reality. Because people who can soldier, if you are blaming government that they are not performing, and the NGOs and the Nigerian Labour Congress and all that did not come out to lead in truth. After 3 days to call us strike, people will protest against them. So people should have mind and let us face the truth. If we miss it this time, we will miss our next generation unborn. We miss it, and Nigeria will not. The neighboring country will be better than us. So I pray that they don't try it anyway. That's all. Okay. So because all of us, in anywhere you are, either in your church or in your mosque, as a family meeting, tell them that no to fuel subsidy removal.
Okay, thank you, sir. Dr. Bansu, I can see you are itching to make a point. Now, what's the way forward? If you are to advise the government now, because government is talking about paucity of funds, that they don't have money, and they are looking at ways to get money. There's even increase in tax now, in terms of carbonated drinks and all that, just trying to raise money. So what's your advice? What's the way forward?
Thank you.
If you say don't remove fuel subsidy.
The fact is very clear. Okay. If government is sincere that when they came into power, and they saw that, okay, it was obvious, the Dasuki Gate was so obvious for election matter. And they tried to now create their strategy of funding election in their party. And one of the ways is that when election is coming, a year to election, they come up with how to send money to the vulnerables. We saw it the last time.
Tied to market money.
The term tied market money. And guess what? Once they come up with such policy, they amount a total, they will tell you, okay, 3 trillion will go out. And we eventually know that what we go out may likely just be 1 billion.
That's right.
The remaining money, because there is
we can't validate that.
See, anything without a record is already fraudulent. Where is the record for trader money?
Is it not of recent?
There is no record.
The salary of senators, not that many crime, many time another before.
All you hear,
the Senate president.
All you
now
hear is that,
harassment.
oh, we approved such money to go to the vulnerable. It ends there. And you cannot trace such money,
No,
and
I
you cannot
can't.
fault it. Now they come back again. Let 5,000 naira go to the trader. I mean, to the vulnerable.
40 million.
Or 40 million Nigeria. Amounting to 2.4 trillion naira that can fix a nation overnight. That can fix all federal road, each state road linking each other, how many kilometers, etc. I think it's high time that this government that we mistakenly voted into power.
Some persons,
I thought to myself, that I mistakenly voted into power in 2015 should know that they cannot always come to Nigeria or come on here to talk to Nigerians with impunity, as in they are so arrogant in their impunity. So they should learn that we are Nigerian, we are sensitive, we are educated. Before you make one or two policies, we know where such policy is going. 5,000 naira will not get to any vulnerable Nigeria because there is no, as we speak, there is no database that we can trace right now that distinguish vulnerable from not vulnerable Nigeria. Now the only thing that vulnerable Nigeria enjoys is that they can enter transport at the rate of 50 naira or 100 naira, and it helps. So if you remove the fuel subsidy, if there is, or if you remove the fuel subsidy, it means you are telling the vulnerable Nigeria that moving forward he will spend 300 naira to move from just this junction to the next junction. And to that woman, which we know is my minister, the Zena, can you give 5,000 naira to your son or to your daughter for just 1 month?
Not at this,
you look at it from your own perspective.
Not at this time.
As a woman, can you give 5,000 naira to your son or to your daughter for just 1 week? Talk less of for 1 month. And you come out with impunity and say that to Nigeria as if that is a good thing. For crying out loud, moving forward, this government, as elected by us, should learn that we voted them into power, and we see the masses also have the capacity to remove them overnight. So it's my duty to encourage you, the vulnerable like me. I'm also vulnerable because I'm waiting for the 5,000 naira. I'm saying, go and get your PVC. If you have not registered, once it is open, register. This is the time for we to demonstrate our power, which is embedded in the PVC. We cannot continue to live a life of inflation, economic inflation, spiritual inflation, because all these things is affecting us drastically. It is high time we make a change, but not the change that has brought us to where we are.
Thank you.
And God bless you.
Your closing remarks, Dr. Barrister Jim.
The solution is not far-fetched. Let government reduce the cost of living in the country. Basic social amenities, provide, work on the roads. Let the power holding the discos, let them wake up.
That's another strong story.
Let them give us life. Yeah. You know, by the time you are able to do these things for the people and you remove subsidy, because the man who is running Baba shop. He's not going to be buying petrol to, to power his generator, to cut somebody's hair, and the rest of that. So if you are able to bring down the cost of living, then you can be talking about, removing fuel subsidy. So the government should concentrate on reducing the cost of living in this country. The cost is, inversely proportional to the standard. The cost is going up, the standard is going down. That's the problem that we have in Nigeria. And lastly, I want to say that the policies that work in other countries may not be suitable for us. And those countries that are telling you to remove subsidy, they are also subsidizing.
America subsidizes everything.
They subsidize corn, wheat, especially when they have adverse weather conditions. Right now in Nigeria, we have adverse economic conditions. So let the government continue to subsidize petroleum products because they have failed woefully to refine crude oil. We have the best quality of crude oil in the world. Bonny Bright is the best. Right now it's about 88 naira per barrel. So what is the use of
100.
Okay, now when the price increases in the international market, you are making more profit. What do you do with all this money? That is the question that we are asking. So there should be no camouflage that you want to help the people, you want to help the economy, you want to remove fuel subsidy. Fuel subsidy should remain. Let the economy improve and reduce the cost of living. That's just the problem we have in Nigeria.
Okay, your closing remarks.
Well, I just want to thank God for
the
nation that we are still one. Somebody failed, is arrogant. The present government, they have failed because they are not looking after the people that voted them.
But some persons believe that this government has done well.
They go and find out that they are partnering in improvement. Either something is going on somewhere. You fail and you are still arrogant. We have arrogant in failure. That is what we are going now, right now. They should stop contemplating whatever they are attempting. It will not work. Secondly, let them look inward. Let them look inward. How? We have cocoa at its way in regional life.
Yes.
We have cocoa, we have cotton, we have granite, we have oil, we have palm oil. Well, all those things. We have things to make cement here in Edo State.
The natural resources.
Yes, natural resources of this country. Okay, look at Nasarawa, what happened. Because of the raw material of gold.
Zamfara.
The Zamfara. Armed robber and every bandit came there. Who are the people? Now the generals and others who did not allow, up to now, they should stop all these men. Because election is coming. They now bring their men to kidnap for ransom. They should look at, first, for the security of the nation. And they should not contemplate of matter of oil subsidy or whatever. Two, let them go to cocoa. Let them go to cotton. Let them go to granite.
Cash crops.
Cash crop. And they should not be partial. Even when they are talking about these issues, who benefits? It's some section. If you are a president of a nation, you are the president everywhere. Yeah. So we should look inward to make sure. Because we are tired of the president, I assure you, I assure you, I assure you. We not see any assurance. We are still going back in problems. So let them look inward, and security of the nation should be revived.
The federal government should send people, they should send their technocrats to Edo State. Okay. To be very frank.
For a case study.
What the Edo State government is doing is what Nigeria needs. There's
starting from civil servants.
You are providing an enabling environment. Not too long ago there was this drive to plant cashew. We have a processing plant in Edo State already. A lot of people are getting employment. People are no more looking to civil service. The federal government should send people here to come out and study. Lagos State did that for Edo Best. Don't just sit there in Abuja and don't be really a policy that you don't even feel. Your children are not here. You don't pay for fuel. You don't pay for food. If I even look at the budget for domestic,
let one minister on the road to Lagos. You see how many people that will follow him. We have listened from fuel.
Okay.
The accommodations. Yes. They should trim.
Convoy.
Yes, the governance should be looked into and trim most of these excesses.
Thank you very much, sir. Your closing remarks, Dr. Master.
Yeah, first of all, let me appreciate the president.
Okay.
For being able to make sure that Nigeria is still one as we speak.
Okay, the unity.
That one is a very, at a point, I consider it as if this thing is getting out of hand. And the way he has politically and otherwise managed it to this era, I appreciate him for that. Okay. But the best way to keep a nation is when the economy is working well.
Yeah.
So I want to beg him, in as much as I appreciate him in that angle, you've heard people. There are people you learn from. It doesn't necessarily mean they are older than you.
Yeah.
Even if 2 years has something that you don't
Yeah.
have, just learn. So I expect them to also visit some state governors, as is one critical example. But we are not saying he's 100%.
But
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
But
we have
at
a part of
least he
Obaseki
has
on the
something.
ground.
Yes.
We
He
have a
has
part of
something
Wiki
that they
and
can learn from.
Okay, thank
So
you.
this is what.
Thank you,
I
Dr.
would like to
Maxwell.
know to
Thank you,
federal
Barrister
government.
Jim. I want to thank our daddy here, Reverend Lou Aderigbigbe, former NSU chairman. Okay, my name is Ego Sagbolao. That's the show for this week on 60 Minutes Nigeria. Do have a wonderful week ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you.